And we're now getting some breaking news in connection with the Murshidabad violence. Now, BJP has hit out at the TMC on the riot roll in Murshidabad. The BJP says that TMC is behind the attack on Bengali Hindus. BJP goes on to say that TMC engineering Hindu exodus in West Bengal, Mamata vote bank against Hindu homeland. And the High Court probe has indicted TMC councillor and also an MLA in the riots. The probe reveals that there was indeed a role of a TMC Neta in the Murshidabad violence that occurred in April this year. So that's the update that is coming in. The politics has now erupted. The BJP has now hit out at the TMC on the riot roll in the Murshidabad violence, saying that the TMC is behind the attack on Bengali Hindus. Let's take a look at some reactions coming in.
TMC इसको बॉयकॉट करने जा रहा था, लेकिन इस देश की जनता की जो प्रेशर है, पाकिस्तान का खिलाफ जैसा जनमत बना है देश भर में, टीएमसी देखा अगर पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ नहीं बोलेंगे तो हमें राजनीति करना मुश्किल है। केवल मुस्लिम वोट की तरफ देखते हुए इस प्रकार स्टेप लेते हैं वो लोग, लेकिन आज मजबूर जाना पड़ा। अच्छा है, देश जब एक साथ लड़ना की तैयार है उस समय रहना चाहिए। मैं ये भी पूछना चाहूँगा कि आप कश्मीर में कोई प्रतिनिधिमंडल भेज रहे हैं कि कहाँ सेल गिरा है, पाकिस्तान का नुकसान हुआ है, लेकिन मुर्शिदाबाद में जो दंगा हुआ है, जो हिंदू का नुकसान हुआ है, घर तोड़ा गया, मंदिर तोड़ा गया है, 2-3 हत्याएं हुई हैं, वहाँ टीएमसी का प्रतिनिधिमंडल क्यों नहीं जाता? क्यों हिंदू का साथ खड़ा होकर नहीं बोलता कि हम आपके साथ हैं, हम आपको देखेंगे?
So chilling revelations have come to the fore after High Court panel report on the Murshidabad violence that revealed that there was a role of the TMC councillor. In fact, the TMC councillor led the attacks and the violence in Murshidabad. It also reveals the absence of the police and that the police did not take action even after the distress calls. And after this report, the BJP has now hit out at the TMC, citing the riot roll in the Murshidabad violence. The BJP has claimed that TMC is behind the attack on Bengali Hindus. My colleague Indictes Kundu is now joining us with more details on this. Indictes, just after the HC panel report, now the BJP has made a scathing attack against the TMC, claiming that the TMC is behind the attack on Bengali Hindus and that the TMC is actually engineering Hindu exodus.
Well, this attack coming in from the BJP is on expected lines. Ever since this report has come out in the public domain, it was expected that the opposition will go all guns blazing against the Mamata Banerjee government. Remember that this is a 3-member fact-finding panel that was set up by the Calcutta High Court. In fact, the compensation that had been announced by the West Bengal government, that has been challenged because the West Bengal government had announced a uniform compensation for all the victims. Now, the case before the High Court was that there are damages that have taken place which are much more severe. Therefore, one single uniform compensation for all the victims, is unfair. There are 113 houses that have been damaged, is what the report states. The committee met several victims of the communal violence that took place in Murshidabad, and it has specified their findings in that report, where they have said that there was clear police inaction, that distress calls made by the victims to the police were unanswered, that local Trinamool Congress leaders were involved, that there were miscreants who had, covered their faces while they were orchestrating that attack. So these are things that have been put out in that report in a sealed cover before the High Court bench, which is hearing the matter. It will be, the High Court will be taking up this report, in fact, sometime later when once again it resumes hearing of the matter. But clearly politics ensuing on this entire issue now, with the BJP now trying to target the Mamata Banerjee government, seeking answers as to why such an indictment of the government in that report.
All right, Indictes, please stay with us. So, shocking details have emerged in the Murshidabad violence case. The fact-finding committee set up by the Calcutta High Court has submitted its report on the communal violence that occurred in West Bengal's Murshidabad, in highlighting the inactivity and absence of police during the violence. As per sources, the report states, and I quote, local councillor, namely Mehboob Alam, came with the miscreants on 11th April. An MLA was also present. He saw the vandalism and went away while the violence continued on April 12th. According to the report, the main attack took place after 2:30 p.m. on April 1 in Dhulian town. The attackers allegedly had their faces covered to conceal their identities. Several houses were badly affected and temples were also destroyed during the violence.
ये पूरा नवान्न में बैठ के साजिश किया गया रायट है और महमूद आलम जो उनका काउंसिलर है उनको जो सीधा फोटो भी आया वो दंगा को वो लीड कर रहा है। तृणमूल का एमएलए का भी नाम अभी सामने आ गया। पुलिस को पूरा निष्क्रिय करके एकदम प्री प्लान इस दंगा किया गया। एक सरकार जब ऐसा दंगाई करने का निर्णय लेते हैं तब उसका परिणाम भयंकर होता है। तो इसीलिए ये जो सरकार दंगा पीड़ितों को राहत का बदले दंगा कराते हैं, ऐसा सरकार को गद्दी में रहने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है। तो इसीलिए हम बाहर और भीतर दोनों तरफ आंदोलन इसको लेके कर रहा है और कानूनन भी इसका मुकाबला हो रहा है। हमको लगता है आगे चल के ये सरकार को बंगाल से जब तक नहीं उखड़ेगा तब तक ये दंगाई का सिचुएशन कंट्रोल में नहीं आएंगे।
Now we'll walk you through the key takeaways of the HC panel report, what it states on the Murshidabad violence. Now it states that TMC councillor led the Murshidabad attacks. In fact, TMC MLA was also hand in glove with the councillor. It also states that there was inactivity and absence of police during the violence and the incidents. And in fact, it goes on to state that Murshidabad temples were also destroyed in the violence that happened in April this year. TMC councillor came with miscreants. This is a big revelation in the report, and that the cops forced the victims to return to the riot zone. This is also being claimed in the report. TMC MLA saw vandalism but did not act. This is also a claim that has been made in the HC panel report. And my colleague Indrajit continues to stay with us. Indrajit, now after these damning revelations, what can be expected next in this case?
Well, as I said, this was a panel that was formed by the Calcutta High Court in order to assess the damages on the ground and speak to the victims in Murshidabad. They have, of course, filed the report. It is before the High Court for consideration, and it will come up for hearing next in July when the High Court hears the matter next. And we'll have to wait and see as to how, after taking cognizance of the report, the High Court comes to a conclusion as to what should be the compensation, what should be the magnitude or the scale of compensation as far as the government is concerned. Because as I said, the government, West Bengal government has announced that it will rehabilitate these people, and whoever has got their houses damaged, that would be compensated through the Banglar Badi scheme. However, that has been challenged, saying that there have been, various magnitudes of damages. Some houses have been completely gutted and destroyed. So one specific compensation package for all, a uniform package, is not suitable, is what has been challenged before the High Court. So one has to wait and see how the High Court take cognizance of the entire matter when it hears the matter next.